Hello, and welcome back to Danganronpa Another 2. Last time we did our first half of the class trial as well as the investigation. It was a lot of stuff we did, but I'm glad I combined them because altogether it was only an hour, so it really wouldn't have worked as two different episodes. And it was really cool because I got to play as Syobai Hashimoto, and I am apparently a huge simp for him. I knew I liked him, I didn't realize I was down that bad. And now we're back to Sora, and I'm literally sad. Like, I'm disappointed because I really enjoyed beating him. I think he's so cool. This is like a tragedy, genuinely. I want to go back to beating him. I just want to beat him forever. But alas, it does not make sense. Anyways, Sora is apparently the worst, and she used Nikkei's hand. The hand, by the way, that he's like obsessed with. Because you know how many times in his free time events he's like, I'm right-handed. I love my right hand. I bet she's that hand too. It comes around, I guess. To kill Shinji? How does that count? How does that count as him doing it? How does that count as her doing it? Whatever, let's just get into it. Let's go. I'm like very sad. I miss Shobai's inner monologues. He's so cool. Easily the best character in this. Alright, what was the first thought that came to me? Shock, horror, fear, rage. Those feelings could be considered the normal reaction. The entire situation was completely surreal to me after all. And when I look back, however, the first emotion I felt was awe. What? Why was I in such awe as I watched it happen? Why did I feel awe from witnessing Yuki almost kill Shinji? Perhaps it was because of that awe that I did such a thing. If I just let things be like this, then he would become the Blackened. There would be a class trial and he would be executed. And I cannot let that happen. I should be the one to protect him. I tell myself I tried to ignore and resist it. But that voice rang inside me, clear as clear can be. That's a little creepy. The voice of a demon hiding somewhere deep within me. Ooh. Sora, I don't like that. Can we please be Syobai again? I gripped the glass shard using Nikkei's unconscious hand and cut Shinji's throat. Right then and there. Does that mean Nikkei is the Blackened? So that's why Sora was so insistent on Nikkei being the culprit. Yeah, and only she knew this. Even Nikkei Yomiuri didn't know himself that he was the culprit. But to tell what happened would be to announce the sin she had committed. So she hesitated on it, as you would expect from her. Don't you fuck with me! What the hell did you do with my treasured hand? Yeah, he's like obsessed with his hand. Nikkei, why don't we calm down first and... Calm down? How can anyone calm down from this shit? Even I would be bewildered by this turn of events if I was the one experiencing it. To be the culprit without even knowing it. That doesn't count! This class trial shouldn't count. I did literally nothing. Sora's obviously the culprit here. I kind of agree with him. Like that, you know... That shouldn't count because she was the one doing it. Just because she used his hand. I have nothing to say. I'm just so sorry. You think sorry's gonna solve my problem? If I turn out to be the Blackened, I'm gonna die right now. But I thought you said that dying here doesn't mean you would die for real. If this was the real world, I would never have tried such a thing. I know that's a petty excuse, but after this is all over, I'll make it up in any way possible. So please. But this is going way too far. Didn't I also tell you that we don't know what could happen to our bodies even if we die? You're basically telling me to endure whatever that's going to happen to me as long as it's not death? That's not what I meant. If you knew so well that you weren't going to really die from this, then why didn't you sacrifice yourself? Or did you really want to continue this killing school trip that badly? I betrayed the Voids, helped you out, did all that, and you act like this, you little... I hate to break this moment, but... Is there any reason to continue the trial anymore? He's so justified, though. Like, he has every right to be angry with her. If he was unconscious and she forced him, like, that should not count. I don't think that's fair. What? Like, it's somehow even worse than Kanade and Hibiki, because he, like, even though she was, like, not really conscious for it either, he, like, fully was unconscious. Like, she, like, had to physically puppet him instead of Kanade, who just said stuff. Well, if Sora's telling the truth, then Nikkei's the culprit, right? There was no reasoning or puzzle solving or whatever, but yeah, we do have a culprit based on the results. Then why don't we just end it here? I don't want to be in this place anymore. Besides, TK was originally the one to. Wait, hold on. Why are we even believing her in the first place? Forget logic. Why are we believing I killed Shinji using Mr. Nikki's hand? BS. She could have just made it up on the spot. I get why you're unwilling to believe it, but believe it or not, her story does have some ground. It matched with Yuki Maida's confession earlier, not to mention with the statements that the others had made. But even so... Syobai said it well, so why don't we vote? Wait, guys, just one thing. I'm not trying to cover up for Nikke or anything, but... Nikke didn't have any intent to murder, according to Sora, right? What? I was just unsure if someone else using Nikke, who was unconscious to murder Shinji, would really count as Nikke being the culprit. Why? I don't understand. Good call, hostess girl. Girl's got a point. I also believe it is too early to decide on who's the culprit. If Nikke Yomiuri can be considered a murder method, then we'd have Albino Girl as our culprit instead. Nikke as the murder weapon. Care to explain whether Nikke Yomiuri could be considered Albino Girl's murder weapon or not? I meant it literally. What? Nikke himself was the murder weapon? That is impossible. How can one consider a human being as a weapon? Have you asked Monocro to confirm that? What? Did you ask Monocro if Nikke Yomiuri was decided as the culprit of this case? In the case of Kanade Otonokoji, she asked in advance about if her murder could be considered a double blackened murder. It was to avoid any messy confusion afterwards. I mean, you should have known by now that there are no 100% positives in class trials. I didn't think that far ahead. See, everyone, even she's unsure of it. Wait, I don't know if Nikke could be considered a weapon or not. But if we do consider it to be that way, does that mean... Yep, Albino Girl will be the culprit to kill Shinji Kasai using her murder weapon of choice, Nikke. She kind of deserves it, honestly. He didn't do anything. Like... I see, so this is a matter of deciding who's the culprit between Sora and Nikke. Let's applaud Yorka, who gave us this crucial insight on the case. You might even let Nikke live another day. Wait, me? But that would mean Sora. Well, obviously Sora's the culprit. A murder has to include the intent to cause harm by the murderer. But even if she's the culprit, she did it to save me. So now what? Forget why or how, we can't even decide on who's done it. How could this happen to me? There's no way that. How could a human being be considered a weapon, even if he was unconscious? Sora, I'm like really mad at her right now, honestly. Like, that's so scummy that she would do that to poor Nikke. But if it is possible, then what would happen to me? Scrum debate. No, I don't think I need an explanation. All right. Let's see who's on our team. Why would anyone be on our side at this point? Yeah. Okay, I get, wait, Yuki would be. But, like, come on. I like that Shobai's literally always on our team. That's so funny to me. Can Nikke Yomiuri be considered a weapon? He can be a weapon versus he's not a weapon. Scrum debate start. Sora used my hand as an object with no murderous intent to commit a crime. She used my hand as a weapon. I'm sorry, Sora, but you're clearly the one at fault. Sora's the culprit. Sora's not at fault. Technically speaking, I should be the culprit. She did it to protect me. I myself, I'm not quite sure how much the rules consider the culprit's intent, but Nikke certainly has no intention to kill. There's a phrase called a human weapon for a reason, you know. I think it's that. Oops. If Nikke was conscious even a little bit, it may be considered as crime, but as things stand right now, oh, it's that. Oops. Even before we discuss the matter of weapons, you don't have evidence. It's not logical and what? Okay. I'm not gonna read it the next time, so I can focus on, yeah, the rebuttals. And logically match our points together, human new weapon, blah 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 blah. Okay. Object. I think it's object. Weapons by definition should only be objects. So do you consider yourself a tool, Nikke? That one. Sora's not at full, blah 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 blah. You think Hibiki Otonokoji had the intent to kill? You can't just go ahead and pretend that it didn't happen. A human weapon. What's that one? That weapon and this one are... Wait, why am I even participating in this? Can you just shut up for once? Love him. A little bit considered... conscious. on. Whether or not Nikkei was conscious doesn't matter. It was his hand that did it, not mine. And then it's that. Our accounts match with each other. A conviction strong enough can be presented as evidence. That was an easy one. Oh, except I gotta do this part. There we go. I love Syobai so much, you guys. Every time I see his spray, I'm like, he is so freaking cool. Oh my goodness. Good lord. Okay. So how long are we going to continue this? We're just going in circles if we continue like this. Yo, Sora, why are you so dead set on being against me? If you thought that was okay for me to die here and be safe in the real world, why don't you apply that same thought process to you? Or is it the old, if I do it, it's right, but if it's wrong, if it's you? So are you scared now that it's your body on the line? I cannot leave this world yet. There's still something I have to do. Is there a way we can confirm who's technically the one that did it? Alright then, let's not waste any more time and ask someone who's sure to know who's done it. Someone who's sure to know the truth? The guy I talked about just a minute ago, Monocro, you listening? You should know, right? Whether or not Nikkei Yomiuri's hand could be considered a weapon. Why aren't you saying anything? Syobai, you know, I can't answer that question. To answer that question would be to answer who's the culprit between Sora and Nikkei. Is that how it works? I thought we were just going to ask if Nikkei could be considered a weapon. That ultimately decides who's the culprit after all. So we're basically asking him for the answer. Of course he wouldn't answer back. I was hoping it was worth a shot since you went haywire a while ago. So, you're still bound by those rules. What? I don't know what you're talking about. Now this is quite the troublesome situation we're in. We would have to decide it ourselves, even if Monocro doesn't outright tell us. Hold on a minute. Syobai? Let's go over everything again. Albino, Reporter, and Yuki Maida. You three should talk about what you each heard and did in the case. What? We already did that. Yuki, why don't we stop complaining and do what he says just once? Maybe he has an idea or something. I agree. We're all going after each other saying it's your fault. But this isn't the time for emotional drama between us. Let's save what we have to say about each other for now. And logically think this through once more. It's not like there's more to say about this case, though. As I said before, I was kidnapped by someone, and when I woke up, Nikkei was unconscious and Big Bro attacked me. Frightened to death, I grabbed the glass shard on the ground and stabbed Big Bro on the neck. Then I ran away and pretended I knew nothing. Same for me. I called Shinji out and was talking to him when he suddenly knocked me out. When I woke up, Shinji had bled out, dead, and I ran away from the scene. As I told you before, I went up to the power room through the secret passageway below and witnessed Yuki running away from the crime scene. And to save him from being executed, I grabbed the glass shard using Nikkei's hand and cut Shinji's throat. Although I still don't know what made me do that. It seems like this is just a recalling of what they said before. And you're sure you said every last detail? Of course, I mean, every one of us has been exposed already, so there's basically no point in lying. Then we have a problem. Who was the one that caused the fire? Huh? Well, let's go over the facts. The power room was on fire, there's no doubt about that. According to our alibis, the only people that entered the power room are Albino, Nikkei Yomiuri, Yuki Maida. Check. Now let's assume all of you are telling the truth. Where the hell did the fire come from? Huh? You're right. What had happened then? Aren't you acting a bit too surprised? Syobai mentioned the fire once before in this trial. Yeah, but it was glossed over once every single one of you little shits started exposing each other. Now that the three of you had told the actual truth, we now need to readdress this problem. But why is the fire important? The Blacken's bound to be either Sora or Nikkei regardless of the fire. Now, you may not have realized this with your barely functioning brain, but Syobai is basically implying that one of the three who visited the power room may be lying. Yeah, there's a likelihood of any party falsifying their statement. We need to dig every last detail until we're sure we got everything right. I see. So, who caused the fire then? I know nothing. I told you everything I know. Same here. The fire at the power room. Even I don't know about that. Let's think this through step by step. I may be able to find something now. Logic craft. Oh boy. Ugh. I hate this one. Hopefully, Yuri's skill comes in clutch this time. It's still laggy. It's a little bit easier now, though. Go, Sora, go. Go, Sora, go. Go, Sora, go. Go, Sora, go. Oh, it's still kind of hard. This would be very difficult. Oops. I went too high. It's like I have cheat codes on, basically. Not cheat codes. I have the skill, but I'm still, like, bad at it. That's hilarious. Okay. Well, okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm glad I got the skill. I needed it. In what order did the prime 3 suspects of the case leave the power room? Yuki... What? What? Yuki, Sora, Nikkei? This one? This one? This one? Yeah, okay. I was like, Yuki left first. I honestly thought for some reason... Why would... Okay. I'm overthinking things. This is still very much lagging. But, it's better than it was. I needed this. Thank you, Syobai, for being helpful and letting me buy this from you. You stingy man. He's still my favorite. I will pay him all my money just because he's cool. Yeah, I'm just like, geez, I would be having a miserable time right now if I, didn't buy this. Like, that part right there. Oh, Nelly. That wasn't that bad. Okay. Huh. Who was left inside the power room after Nikkei Yomiuri left? Shinji? Right? Syobai. I was there the whole time. Surprise. It was actually me. Ooh, no, it was, okay, yeah. Chuya has nothing to do with this time, even though I was kind of like the antagonist of the chapter. Okay. The way that this just became so much less stressful because of the skill. Definitely one of the most necessary ones, for sure. A lot of people have said that this minigame has given them a hard time too, and yeah, I understand why. It's difficult. It's much easier now though. Like, I hated it before, though it was kind of fun. Ugh, this is getting hard. Okay. There we go. There we go. If the fire caught on while Shinji was dead, what are the possible explanations? He was still alive? I think. This seems like right to me. Okay. Nikkei set a trap. This is better than freaking, what does the ultimate actress do? Act. I was so mad. I'm still mad about that. Like, let's be real. All right. That was the easiest version of that game ever. Let's go, baby. All right. That was nice. I just got to kind of like chat while I did it. I didn't have to think too hard. Wait, Nikkei, so when you left the power room, the fire wasn't there, right? Just how many times do I have to repeat myself? Yes, there was a fire. There's no fire, sorry. I thought it was some malfunctioning from the damaged machines that caused the fire. That means if someone did cause a fire, then it would be after Nikkei left the power room. Does that mean someone else entered the power room once Nikkei left? That's impossible. Everyone excluding Sora, Yuki, and Nikkei all have sound alibis. Then we're back to deciding between Sora, Yuki, and Nikkei again. We told you, even we don't know. But then it doesn't make sense. There's no one else that could have caused the fire. That's exactly as Aroha said. There's no one among us here right now that could have caused that fire. What are you trying to suggest, Sora? I'm saying I might have an idea on who actually caused the fire. Let me cut straight to the chase. We don't need to consider the possibility of someone else entering the power room after Nikkei left. Because there was one other person in the power room. And that's Shinji. What? Sora, what do you mean? Shinji was dead at that point. But what if he wasn't? If he was still alive and he had caused that fire, then everything was set up to this point makes sense. Oh my god, he was trying to make it like a suicide so that no one would have to die. That's so sweet if that's the case. Poor Shinji. Sora, are you hearing yourself? Didn't you say to yourself that you delivered the finishing blow to Shinji? You're the last person I expected to say that. Yeah, not to mention that this was his second fatal blow that he received on the same spot, mind you. How can anyone be alive after getting stabbed and cut in the throat? You can. Oh, he's like, remember Kizuna? She was alive for like 15 minutes after being stabbed in the throat. What the hell? What? Normally anyone would die, but there are cases where someone suffers that and still survives for more. Then 30 minutes. Trust me on this. What is with you, Mr. Nobody? And you sound like you actually saw someone pulling that off. Well, ugh. He did see it. And I still... What was her name? What the heck? Why can't I remember? She was the track girl, though. She had black hair and she had, like, red on. I don't remember. I didn't ever hang out with her. I hung out with her once, I think. Like, the very first, like, episode or something. But that was it. She was kind of boring. IMA. It was IMA. Oh, it just came back to me. Are you alright, Taria? Oh, let's just ignore him and return to the topic at hand. So you're saying that Shinji was still alive after all that? That makes no sense. Show me anyone who can stay alive for 1 minute with a bloody torn apart neck. IMA. Even I think I'm going a bit too far. After all, I'm the one who actually cut the throat using Nikke's hands. Yeah, obviously, kind of funny that the one who actually did it would suggest such a thing. See, even you're not sure of the whole thing, and whether Shinji caused the fire or not, he's dead now. Why should we care about what a dead person did before they passed away? We need to decide the culprit among the living right now. Wait, reporter, what did you just say? What? I was just saying that we should be talking about something else. Not that. What, the part about the culprit being one of us? Yeah, you said the culprit was among the living, Let's break that thought and think of it this way. Do you have to be alive to become a culprit? What? What does that mean? Shut up. If Shinji Kasei caused the fire, the only ones who are in the power room, the alibis. Got it. We didn't even discuss Nikke Yomiuri's hand being the weapon after all. Neither of you are the culprit. Then who are you saying the culprit is? Yuki? Not him either. Well, technically speaking, there is no murderer in this case. What? Syobai, you want to think you know what I'm thinking, are you? Yep, Shinji Kasei was killed by none other than Shinji Kasei himself. Oh, Shinji. You're a bro till the end, dude. In other words, it was a suicide. What? Jeez, are you trying to blow our ears out? Wait, what? So it was a suicide? What do you mean? But a suicide isn't a murder. Does this mean the class trial is cancelled? No, a suicide is still taking someone's life. So it doesn't go against the killing someone part of the rules. I thought there was like an anti-suicide rule though, that it wouldn't count. Was that the first game? That must have been the first game. Can I look at the rules again? You've got to be kidding me. Syobai, are you crazy or something? How can you go from saying that Shinji got the fire to saying he killed himself? He killed himself with the fire so that no one would have to die, I think is what he's implying. Because that Shinji would do that because he had a heart of gold. And why the hell would he do something like that anyways? Like I don't even care about what the beef brain committed suicide. I just came up with it based on the evidence. Evidence? So you're saying there's evidence that Big Bro killed himself? Of course there isn't any evidence like that. This isn't a problem of whether or not you have evidence. Sora, you said that you killed Shinji using my hands. Then Shinji was obviously dead from that point onward, right? Shinji committed suicide. Something did feel strange about this case while we were talking about the fire. But even I don't think that far. But Syobai must have realized something. We should talk about this more. I want to play as Syobai again. Do I ever get to play as him again? Probably not. Would I like to? Yes. He's burn marks, bruises on body, burn marks. Shinji Kasei killed himself. Impossible! He must have died from getting his throat cut. But if we assume that, then there's no other way to explain the fire. As long as us three are in the position of plausible deniability, something. Shinji Kasei being still alive and causing the fire is our most logical explanation. Oh wait, even if Shinji was alive. I don't get how we can get from there to Shinji suddenly committing suicide. I mean, Shinji killing himself after trying to attack us doesn't make sense in the first place. It's not like we have proof of it anyways. Is that it? That is indeed true, but... then we're left with too many contradictions. Syobai heard my remarks about the possibility of a suicide. He must know something. And there must be traces of a suicide somewhere. I've just got to find it. Is it burn marks? Hang on. It's either this or this, I think. Okay. I was like, what's one or the other? I don't know which one. I already know I'm failing this trial after that one minigame I did like really bad on, so It doesn't bother me. Okay. Nikkei, if you want evidence, then I've got some. Shinji's body actually had a lot more wounds than just the ones on the neck. I thought that was just from their, like, scuffle earlier. But I guess I'm wrong. Ones other than the ones on the neck? Those were from the fire, right? No, that's what I thought earlier. But there were a lot of scratches on his body. Well, color me impressed. Do you think that someone other than me would notice those amongst all the burnt marks? Scratches? There were scratches? When I cut Shinji's throat, there were no wounds other than the ones on his neck. I'm asking just to be sure, Nikkei. Did you make those? Of course not. And considering that he was still alive, even if I did that, then he would have most likely become the culprit. Correct. The last person to harm the victim becomes the culprit. You haven't forgotten that, have you? Wait, so was that it? Even after getting fatal injuries by me and Sora Big Bro was still alive? Then he hurt himself, so by those rules, he becomes the culprit? That doesn't feel right, though. People usually don't die from those scratches. Even if you create those wounds yourself, they aren't critical enough to kill you. So his death would have come from his neck wound anyways. Easy there. Recall that the monochrome doesn't report the cause of death in this case. Whether or not the cause of death is recorded on the monochrome is in itself a very important clue. Just like the time of death last trial. If this case ended with Albino Girl cutting his throat, then there would be no reason to hide the cause of death. But the cause of death was missing. So that means there was a need to hide it in accordance with the culprit's intent. But as Nikkei said, saying that the cause of death was those scratches does sound a bit off. No, the cause of death would have been from suffocation for inhaling too much carbon monoxide caused by the fire. Caused by the fire? Well, I guess that's what we thought when we first found the body. I thought he was burned, not suffocated to death. If he was burned to death, there should have been more time till the body discovery announcement. Simply put, it takes too long for a human being to burn to death. Correct, it's common knowledge that a human dies more easily from suffocation than from incineration from a fire. I can guarantee that is the truth as the flame wizard myself. Normally, you'd be able to see distinct marks on the face if someone died from inhaling excess carbon monoxide, but he was burned to the point where the face was unrecognizable, so we aren't 100% sure. Then how can I be so sure that he died from suffocation? Because that is the only way. The only way he could have ended his life as fast as possible. He probably first tried hurting himself by crushing his body into stuff, but he soon knew that wasn't gonna cut it. Call it luck or whatever, but it actually caused a fire doing so. So he then probably decided to end himself that way. There is proof to suggest this happened. Actually, it was all over the power room. Proof that Shinji tried to hurt himself. As Syobai just said, there were traces of it inside the power room. Yeah. Considering the relation between the fire and the scratches, Shinji must have bashed his body against the power room's machines to hurt himself. Most of the machines inside the power room were badly damaged, not to mention there being traces of blood on them. If someone the size of Shinji crashed into those machines with full force, I assume it would be enough to break them and cause a fire. Hold on, now we're getting evidence left and right here. To be honest, I was half sure at first. Now it really feels like Shinji was alive at that point. I see. Sora, Yuki, and Nikkei said they didn't know about the fire, and all the others have alibis, so they didn't even enter the power room in the first place. But if Shinji was still alive and did some act to end his own life, all of this makes sense. What a remarkable conclusion. That explains everything. Even someone as brain dead as Roha could understand this. Don't call me brain dead. In a sense, the trial only took longer because the three of you were stubborn and kept saying your own thing. I should have interfered from the start and wasted so much time. I guess even Yuki and I weren't rational enough to check if Shinji was actually dead or not. That was why we never thought about Shinji being alive and soon killing himself. No way, so it was just Shinji's suicide all along? There's still some things I don't get, but if Shinji really did take his own life, then Sora and Nikkei both aren't culprits. Nobody here has to die. Monica, if the culprit's dead, then nobody has to die, right? Well, if the culprit really did kill himself, then yes. I'm not into pulling pot dead bodies or that kind of stuff. You hurt him, Sora. I don't know why you did such a thing, but you... That doesn't mean I'm going to forgive her. Do you realize what kind of despicable act you've done? If we both survive from this, I'm not going to go over this matter that easily. I'm sorry. Of course I'll pay my price. I'll do anything you want. Not really the happy closure I wanted, but it's over, right? Then let's vote for the... Wait. Big Bro killed himself? Sure, we might have evidence. why. He tried to kill me and attacked Nikkei. Why would someone like that suddenly decide to kill himself? He basically threatened 2 lives and then saved 3 lives? I just don't understand. That's not the issue here. The issue is getting the culprit right. It's also like way too soon to be done with this trial. There's gotta be more to it. I mean, are they really gonna do a suicide for this one? They've done that before. Oh, not Danganronpa, but another, but the original series did that before, but it's really weird. I thought for sure there was a rule against that, but I must be thinking of the first game. No, this is a class trial. This is an important matter, no doubt. If there's a reason for doubt, then we should discuss about it. I mean, don't you guys feel it's weird? Why did he suddenly have to take his own life? What if we're missing something? Looking at the evidence, Shinji must have killed himself, that's for sure. By ending the class trial right here and now, all 3 of us would survive. We've been through a lot, but that would be the best outcome we could get results-wise. But should we be fine with it? Yuki has a point. With Syobai's help and a bit of reasoning, we were able to deduce that Shinji took his own life. But we've only reached the conclusion. We still don't know the whole story. Did Shinji really take his own life? If he did, then for what reason? Why isn't anyone speaking? Does anyone know why Shinji committed suicide? I imagine it's because he didn't want anyone else to die. Syobai, you know something, right? Dude, can't you solve anything by yourselves, even competent idiots? You think I'm one of those futuristic cat-like robots that grants wishes or something? You don't have to know all that to deduce that this case was caused by Shinji Kasai committing suicide. Every alibi fit, the plot was well scripted, and the case is sealed. Don't you get it? All's well that ends well. Who gives a shit about why he killed himself? So you should all vote and get the hell out of here. Every alibi fit. The plot being scripted? Wait, something's up. Oh my god, Mikado's gonna help us! What? Cool, I love him. Sora, I see that you're pondering something. I can't believe he's helping us. Like, that's rare. You see, I've been wondering about something as well. Don't you hate it when you know something's up, but you don't know what that is? How about we share just what has been bugging us? The last character you expect to help you. I don't think I need an explanation. It's just the arrows. Okay, let's do this. Whoa! Read this on your own if you have time. Whoa! Okay. Okay. Secret stairs, your workers account, burnt stun gun? Is it the stairs? No, I don't know. I don't think that's it. I need to think again from the beginning. It's gonna make me do the whole thing again. Yes, it is. Okay, well, I'm an idiot. I don't know what he's telling me. Okay. All right. Wrong truth bullet penalty. Yeah. I already know I'm getting a D. I might even get an F. I don't care that much though. Like, I'm not really going to the machine to get stuff anymore, so I don't really care. That reminds me, didn't Yuki say that he was kidnapped by someone? Does anyone know who that someone could be? What are you talking about, Sora? What does this have to do with the reason Shinji killed himself? I thought Shinji kidnapped him for some reason. There was a burnt stun gun lying around at the crime scene. You told me that you blacked out suddenly, right, Yuki? Perhaps he was attacked by someone using that stun gun. A stun gun, I think I did feel a jolt or something like that. But why bring that up? Don't you feel like something's off? If Shinji really is the culprit and he took his own life, why was Yuki kidnapped and by whom? Huh? Even I didn't think that went through. I guess I was too focused on the culprit's identity. Well, it's Shinji, obviously. According to our line of reasoning, the only one to have a hostile intent against our group was Shinji. You said that when you called Shinji over to the power room, you found Yuki there, right? If Shinji was the one who ambushed Yuki, then it would have been before he met up with Nikkei. Don't you think it's a bit weird? Why would you kidnap someone only to meet up with someone else right after? It is a bit weird, I guess. I don't know, no offense, but he might have just been, you know, a bit crazy in the head. If we're going by Nikkei's words, then Shinji was helping Void behind our backs and even tried to kill Yuki and Nikkei. Even if he did take his own life, Maybe he was just one of those people who put up a front around us, but was acting crazy behind our backs.
Hey, I say that Shinji's image has fallen way off a cliff.
I'm just saying that it's under the assumption that Shinji was behind all this. I didn't intend to mock the dead, even if they were the bad guy. Going by Nikkei's words. Wait. What about it?
Sora?
Nikkei, there's one thing I need to clear up with you. When you gathered us in that meeting room to tell us that Shinji might be the traitor?
Yeah, what about it?
Where were you, and what were you doing after that meeting? Sora, what's the matter? Yoriko, please don't interrupt us for a moment. This is a very important matter we're dealing with.
What do you mean? I went straight to talk with Shinji.
After calling him out to the power room?
Yeah?
But why the power room? Why call Shinji over to such a dark and creepy place?
As I mentioned before, even I didn't know well enough about the identity of the person working for Void. I just didn't want unwanted people from entering or hearing her business, that's all.
I found that a bit suspicious, Nikkei. If you really did believe that Shinji was the traitor, shouldn't you have acted with a bit more caution?
What are you trying to pull here? You better have a good reason for picking apart everything I say.
I mean, doesn't everyone agree on this? If Shinji really was a dangerous threat, then Nikkei basically walked straight into the tiger's den alone willingly. Plus, Shinji had a gun. Come to think of it, you're right. Why didn't I notice that? Hey, Nikkei, why would you do something so risky?
Isn't it obvious? He's the mastermind behind this case, that's why.
What?
Wait, Syobai, I thought you said you would interfere with this matter. You know what's most annoying? The most annoying thing about this trial? I can't edit on my own and have to wait for you idiots. If you idiots aren't satisfied with just the culprit's identity and want to know the whole picture, then I figured I should just join and get this over with quickly.
Wait, Sora, so you agree with Syobai that Nikkei was the mastermind of this case? I'd say it's still based on instinct. But considering Syobai's on my side, there seems to be some logical ground behind all this.
Of course there is. I'm genuinely surprised that you fools haven't realized it yet.
Wait, you should have told us sooner if you'd realized the truth.
What for? Why the hell do I have to care about what Nikkei and Miyori schemed under your noses? All we gotta do is vote Shinji Kasai and bam, the trial would have been over. This is like a bonus stage, a complete waste of time that doesn't contribute anything to my progress.
But you're still going to help us, right?
Huh. Help? Yeah, that might be the word for it. Honestly, you don't even have to think too deep about this. The one who kidnapped Yuki Maeda, the one who framed Shinji Kasai, it was all done by the reporter over there.
Framed? Wait, what does that mean?
What does that mean, Turia?
Nikkei, you're not gonna say all that stuff you told me was a lie, are you? I did all that because I believed in your words. Turia? If there was any ill intent in all this, I will never forgive you. Answer me, Nikkei.
Wait. Did Nikkei set up them in the, did he make Teruya do that to them and put him in the room? Is that what it's getting at? That would be crazy.
What? What are they even talking about?
Ugh.
Nikkei?
You got some fucked up sense of humor. Me? The mastermind of this case? I'm the victim here, for crying out loud, you little shit. Look, I'm trying my best out here trying to fuck over Mikado. And you won't believe me? The hell? Answer the question, Nikkei. Were you the one who ambushed me? And what do you mean, framing big bro? Tell us the truth. Let's undo this, guys. We could have all taken the easy way out. As if I haven't got enough shit to deal with. If you guys don't believe me, then I can't trust you back.
Nikkei, I know that I should be ripped to shreds for what I did to you. And we're even going as far as to suspect you. I imagine that you're angry and upset. You have every right to be, but that is exactly why you need to sincerely answer us. If you were truly innocent, then I might have sinned against you.
Maybe not. Maybe I just came to conclusions. I just thought Shuria, that's why why would Nikkei be in charge of that whole setup, though? Maybe. I don't know. I probably just said something really stupid, and the people who have seen this before are laughing at me.
But even so, this is something we can't look over.
Shut up! You think you have any right to suspect me, you dirty rat? Oh, you did not just call her a rat. I mean, if he was innocent, it's kind of leading to maybe he's not innocent. But if he was, she does just kind of deserve to be called that. She really screwed him over. The girl's not worthy, And how about I take over, little newsy? The fact that the stun gun found at the crime scene was burnt means that it was there before the fire had happened. Thus, the person who had the stun gun has to have visited the power room before the crime scene had happened.
That would be Sora, Yuki, and Nikkei, right?
Correct. The stun gun was probably used immediately after the meeting. Hey, fact check this for me. You said you were attacked shortly after leaving the meeting room. Yup. You've got to be kidding me. Sora and Yuki were in there in that break room as well. And Sora also went to the power room, so shouldn't she be a suspect as well?
No, Sora has an alibi. She talked with me on the top floor after leaving the meeting room. You remember that, don't you, Sora? Huh? You met up with me, remember? We were talking about your alibi here. I mean, I still don't get the stuff you did in this case, but whatever happened, happened. Right now, you should focus on the trial. Oh, yes, she's right. I had a conversation with her shortly after leaving the meeting room. Oh, Sora, there you are. You alone?
And then she got pushed. Yeah, excluding Yuki Maida himself, Albino Girl has an alibi. So, by process of elimination, the only person capable of using that stun gun on Yuki Maida is Newsy. Honestly, I want to play Syobai again so bad. He was so cool. He has to survive. He has to. I will literally start crying if he dies. I'm just like obsessed with him right now.
That may be true if we look at our alibis, but Sora's in a much more suspicious position if we look at the bigger picture. She used some witchcraft to go through the door and ended up below the power room. How do you explain that? Well, she might have used some other trick to kidnap Yuki and brought him to the power room. That is a much more plausible explanation, I'd say. Well, Sora tried disproving that.
I can't tell you the exact details about what happened then, but how I fell from the top floor and ended up there had nothing to do with the case. Please trust me on this.
See, she's hiding something. And trust? Well, that's fucking hilarious. You think we cared about trust when we sent Hajime, Emma, and the twins to hell? This bitch dirtied my hand just because she was too scared to take the shot herself. And you guys say you can't trust me, but you believe her?
Spreading fake news even inside the trial. Hey, Newsy, shut the fuck up. They all got alibis. Syobai's so cool. He's so cool. Maybe you should stop worrying about your hands being dirty and worry about your ears. If Normie Boy got kidnapped right after leaving the break room, how the hell can Albino Girl achieve that while talking with the hostess?
But that doesn't prove that I had the stun gun. Are you suspecting me just based on the process of elimination?
Of course, that's not all there is to it. You said you got attacked by Shinji Kasai in the power room. Now that's comedy if I've ever seen it.
But Syobai, even Sora and Yuki stated that Nikkei was unconscious.
But he wasn't actually, maybe?
And Sora even went as far as to use Nikkei's hands. He would have realized just what was going on if he was just pretending.
Who said he was pretending? Of course he was out cold for real.
Then why?
He actually fainted for real. Wait, I got it.
Yep, if he was actually carrying the stun gun, he would have been able to use it on himself to knock himself out.
What?
You say I use the stun gun on myself? You're to talk about fake news. We've got a newbie fantasy writer here.
Fake? Then why don't you explain what happened? What did Shinji Kasai use to knock you out?
I don't know, he just kind of tackled me suddenly.
If you got knocked out from getting tackled, it was either because the impulse you received was massive, or he hit your vital point. That kind of injury is sure to leave a mark somewhere on your body. So come here and get naked. Don't worry, I'll be gentle.
Nikkei did look somewhat awkward now that I think about it. Amidst all the debris and chaos in the crime scene, he looked unusually unharmed laying down.
You're right, I only got a glimpse, but there was no sign of injury or struggle on Nikkei.
Hold on. That means that when he said it all started when Shinji attacked him, this brat lied about everything from the start.
That's not all. If Shinji Kasai didn't attack Nikkei Yomiuri, that means he didn't have any reason to.
No reason to attack, so that implies...
It was all a lie. They talk about a traitor, big bro being suspicious, everything.
I told you that Newsy framed Shinji Kasai. Nikkei, I believed in you. I obviously trust Syobai way more than you, though. He's probably right. I don't know his objective, but his goal was probably to cause a fire between Yuki Maida and Shinji Kasai from the start.
Nikkei Yumi, oh, you little...
Idiots.
What?
I don't know about a single thing you're talking about. Don't play dumb, you little bastard. Don't know, don't care. You got any proof? I'm not talking about some loose conviction you've got against me. If you haven't got proof, you can always fabricate the truth. That's how it works with a scoop. You can create the most horrifying rumors about the kindest people. You can make political giants fight each other over a simple lie. That's how easy it is, man.
Nikkei, so those renowned articles that you've been putting up.
So what? If you've got nothing to back your words up, every lie has potential to become the absolute truth. That's how society works. So let me see some evidence that I caused everything, damn it.
Is this really Nikkei? Is this the Nikkei we knew all along? He was a void, but he put his trust on us by betraying the voids. And I've done something horrible to him. Perhaps I don't have the right to condemn him. But even so, he must...
Oh, okay. I gotta go over... I'm gonna fail this at least
Twice, is my guess. This is my worst game. Besides the one with the bow and arrow that I did really bad on this time. Okay. Why is he Hermes? I don't... He's the messenger god. Ah. Ah. I can't believe this. Hajime's skill is actually good. This isn't that bad. Hajime's skill help? Well, look how much damage I took. I took like no damage, okay. The missing gun. I can't believe it. That stupid thing I bought by accident because oh god, no, I don't like that. I don't like the naked. That's weird. That stupid thing I bought by accident I think was actually really good. Or that was just a really easy bottle, whatever. Terminate talk shooting, whatever it's called. I think that was just easier than normal. Or it was the fact that I have all the skills for it stacked. I just had a thought. If Shinji really did intend on attacking Nikke or Yuki, wouldn't he have used his gun? The gun? It's true. We haven't talked about the gun yet. You're right, I completely forgot that we gave Big Bro a gun. And we all even agreed on it. Correct. Oops! If he's something, I hit it too fast. But why did you bring that up? Think about it. If what Nikke says is true and Shinji was the traitor, why didn't he use the gun to attack Nikke?